Blake Lively, once celebrated as one of Hollywood's most admired actresses, now finds her marriage to Ryan Reynolds under intense scrutiny. What was long sold to the public as a flawless, playful, picture-perfect relationship is starting to look more like a carefully managed illusion. Recent developments have forced fans and observers to strip away the polished surface and confront an uncomfortable reality. Something is deeply wrong. The growing pile of evidence has sparked serious conversations about whether this marriage is quietly unraveling behind closed doors. And this situation doesn't stop with Blake and Ryan. Taylor Swift has been dragged straight into the center of the chaos, and her involvement appears far more calculated and entrenched than she would like the public to believe. Even distancing herself from Blake now may be too little, too late. Multiple signs suggest Taylor didn't just stumble into this situation. She actively participated. Whether driven by boredom, isolation, or her own personal circumstances, she aligned herself with Blake in ways that now raise serious questions about intent and accountability. For years, Blake and Ryan were praised for their sarcastic banter and public teasing, marketed as proof of a strong, modern love story. But that narrative is rapidly collapsing. What once looked playful now feels sharp, dismissive, and loaded with resentment. Ryan's so-called humor has become a focal point of criticism, with fans increasingly uncomfortable at how often Blake is the butt of the joke. The pattern is hard to ignore. Repeated public jabs, disguised as sarcasm, have shifted the dynamic from mutual teasing to one-sided humiliation. This is no longer harmless banter. It's a power imbalance playing out in public. Hollywood once crowned them the ultimate couple. Charming, funny, untouchable. That image is cracking fast. Their online interactions, once praised as iconic, are now being reevaluated with fresh eyes. In hindsight, many of Ryan's jokes don't land as affectionate. They land as belittling. Blake is consistently framed as the punchline rather than an equal partner. At some point, joking stops being funny and starts revealing something far uglier underneath. One moment in particular has become impossible to defend. Ryan openly joked on national television about using Blake as a human shield in the event of an attack. He said it plainly. No metaphor. No subtlety. He stated he would put his wife in harm's way to protect their child. At the time, laughter drowned out the implications. Now, stripped of context and excuses, the comment feels disturbing. People are no longer asking whether it was a joke. They're asking why that thought existed in the first place. At what point do these jokes stop being jokes and start exposing the truth no one wants to admit? What does it say about how he sees his wife? And the jokes are only part of a much bigger pattern. Ryan has repeatedly undermined Blake in moments that should have been about celebrating her. Her birthday is the clearest example. Instead of a sincere tribute, he publicly prioritized someone else, reducing Blake to an afterthought in her own moment. The backlash was swift and justified. This wasn't a one-off mistake. It exposed a habit of minimizing her presence and importance, even in situations where respect should have been automatic. As people dig deeper, a troubling narrative emerges. Ryan appears deeply invested in being the dominant star in his relationships. His past marriage to Scarlett Johansson is frequently cited, with insiders suggesting he struggled to coexist with a partner who matched his success. With Blake, that insecurity seems to resurface in a different form. He plays the loud, charismatic lead while Blake is quietly pushed into a supporting role. The imbalance is glaring. Then there's the Justin Baldoni conflict, which adds fuel to an already volatile situation. Reports suggest Ryan reacted aggressively to Blake's closeness with Justin during filming, especially while he himself was occupied with major projects. Whether jealousy, control, or ego was at play, the reaction reportedly escalated tensions dramatically. Industry whispers point to emotional volatility, not professionalism. Whether this marriage is heading toward a full collapse or merely surviving under strain, one thing is undeniable. This is not a healthy dynamic. The cracks are visible. Fans see it. Insiders feel it. Whatever image they are trying to maintain, it's slipping. At the same time, Taylor Swift's role has become impossible to dismiss. Though she has publicly stepped back, her fingerprints are everywhere. From the "It Ends With Us" controversy to courtroom entanglements, Taylor's involvement appears strategic, not accidental. The narrative that paints her as an innocent bystander simply doesn't hold up. Evidence suggests she played a key role from the very beginning. Her behavior following her breakup with Joe Alwyn only adds to the suspicion. After years of privacy, she suddenly re-emerged everywhere, highly visible, highly curated, and always flanked by Blake and Ryan. This rebranding moment aligned perfectly with what now appears to be a coordinated smear effort against Baldoni. Behind the scenes, moves were being made, narratives were being shaped, and Taylor Swift was not on the sidelines. She was in the center. Taylor is not just a celebrity. She is a media force. Few people in the industry wield her level of influence. Insiders have long acknowledged her ability to push stories forward or quietly bury them. Certain media decisions make little sense unless backed by someone with extraordinary leverage. As events unfolded, it became increasingly clear that Taylor wasn't observing, she was steering. Ryan Reynolds, for all his popularity, does not command that level of media control. The dots lead back to one place. Taylor Swift, whether through direct action, strategic silence, or behind-the-scenes coordination, her involvement is undeniable. Now, as scrutiny intensifies, she is executing textbook damage control, keeping her image spotless while Blake and Ryan absorb the fallout. And it's working. The same media machine that amplifies her voice is now shielding her. But follow the timeline, examine the alliances, and the pattern becomes clear. Blake sidelined. Baldoni targeted. Media risks taken. All roads lead back to Taylor. Meanwhile, Blake and Ryan's marriage continues to show signs of serious internal stress. Public slights, veiled insults, jealousy, legal pressure, it all converges at once. This is not coincidence. This is a system under strain. Taylor, ever calculated, manages her optics with precision. Her influence is felt without her name being attached. It's a masterclass in Hollywood power dynamics, and Blake and Ryan are left exposed. Fans see it. Insiders definitely do. What once looked like friendship is now a web of PR strategy, manipulation, and self-preservation. Blake's marriage, her friendships, and her public image are all under a microscope. Power in Hollywood shifts fast, and when it does, even the most protected stars scramble. Facades crack. Truth leaks out. And if anyone thought this situation had peaked, they were wrong. This isn't the end, it's escalation. Blake and Ryan didn't just throw shade at Justin Baldoni. They went after him deliberately. That's when people started connecting Taylor Swift's signature behavior. Hidden messages, coded credits, Easter eggs meant to send signals without accountability. The appearance of Gordon Reynolds in film credits isn't random, especially when the same alias appears elsewhere, tied to a character widely believed to mock Baldoni. Scenes filmed after tensions exploded only deepened suspicion. This wasn't subtle. It was calculated, using a film as a weapon, embedding mockery into credits, and amplifying it through promotion is not coincidence. It's strategy. And Taylor's history of orchestrating exactly this kind of layered messaging makes her involvement hard to deny. Now the matter is heading to court. Evidence is being preserved. Lawyers are circling. A March 2026 date looms, and many believe a settlement may be the only escape before damaging footage and documents surface. Until then, this story is far from over. Every move, every silence, every credit will be analyzed. This is no longer gossip. This is a full-scale Hollywood power war, and everyone involved knows the stakes.